Ever feel like no matter how hard you work, you're still one flat tire away from financial disaster? You're showing up, doing overtime, skipping vacations, budgeting like a ninja, and yet still feeling broke. It's not just you, and it's not just the economy. The truth is, most people aren't poor because they are lazy. They are poor because no one ever taught them the habits keeping them broke. Habits you picked up from your parents who were just surviving, from schools that never taught well, from society which told you to get a job and you'll be fine. Today, I'm breaking the silence. These are the 9 money habits keeping you poor. Before we continue, what's one money habit you are struggling with? Drop it in the comments. Let's start a conversation as a community. Let's start with the most common and most dangerous: living paycheck to paycheck. You get paid, you pay your rent, your bills, maybe treat yourself to a night out. And then what? By the next week, you're praying that the gas tank lasts until payday. And by Thursday, you're already calculating how many packets of ramen you can stretch until Friday. Here's the thing, it's not just about how much you earn, it's about how you manage what you earn. Because if your expenses always rise to meet your income, you'll always be broke. If I could just make more, then everything will be fine. That's what most people believe. But here's the truth, more money doesn't solve money problems. Better habits do. I've seen people making 6 figures still living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because when they got a raise, they also got a new car, a bigger apartment, a fancier lifestyle. More income, same mindset. If you don't learn to manage $1,000, you won't magically get it together at 10K. Your habits scale with your income, not your intelligence. When your income increases, don't touch it, at least not all of it. Keep your lifestyle the same and use the difference to pay off debt, invest, stack emergency cash, buy back your time. Think of every dollar as a soldier. Some of yours are out partying every night, but instead you should use them to make consistent income for you 24/7 passively. More money can make you rich, but only if you already think and act like someone who deserves it. Credit cards aren't the problem. Thinking credit is free money, that's the trap. Most people swipe first, think later. I'll just pay it off later. But later never comes. That $200 pair of shoes, you're still paying for them 8 months later with a 24% interest. This is how people drown slowly, not in one big splash, but with tiny little swipes that adds up. Credit should be a tool, not a lifestyle. If you want to learn how credit cards really work, click this link right here. Most people know how to earn money, but have zero clue how to keep it, grow it, or protect it. They don't know what compound interest is. They don't know the difference between an asset and a liability. They don't know how taxes kill wealth, but they know every lyric to every Drake song. If you avoid learning about money, money will avoid you. Plain and simple. And no one's coming to teach you if you don't get the knowledge yourself. You'll stay stuck because in this world, what you don't know will keep you broke. You're not broke because you don't make enough. You're broke because you can't delay pleasure. You'd rather flex today and cry later. Rather feel rich for 5 minutes than actually becoming rich in 5 years. You've got it all backwards. You treat yourself before you've built anything. You celebrate like a millionaire when instead you should be building your financial future. That $150 hoodie, that's your future wealth burned. That $80 dinner, that's your freedom traded for a few likes. You're trading long-term success for short-term comfort, and that trade will keep you broke forever. Most people treat their money like it's just vibes. Just wake up, go to work, pay bills, repeat, until one day they retire broke. You wouldn't build a house without no blueprint. So why are you building your life without a plan? If you don't know what you are working towards, you spend your life working for nothing. And that's the scary part. Not having a plan is still a plan. A plan to stay exactly where you are. Your circle really is your network. If you're constantly around people who spend like there's no tomorrow, guess what? You spend like there's no tomorrow too. Ever heard the saying, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? It's brutal, but it's true. Toxic money habits are contagious, and the hardest part, sometimes they are your closest friends or family. If you want to be financially free, start by upgrading your crew. Surround yourself with people who save, invest, and build, not just spend and complain. Here's one of the biggest traps keeping people broke. They confuse assets with liabilities. What's the difference? An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Simple, but most people get it backwards. Think about that shiny new car you just bought. It's costing you gas, insurance, repairs, and monthly payments. It's not an asset, it's a pit dressed up like success. Same with those expensive clothes, the latest gadgets, and even the fancy apartments. They feel like status, but they drain your wallet. On the other hand, assets like rental properties, dividend stocks, or a side hustle, they generate income even while you sleep. The people who escape and become financially free don't just work for money. They make money work for them. Here's the last and maybe the biggest habit keeping you stuck. Being scared to take risk. Most people want financial freedom but play it safe like it's a game of bingo. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect job, the perfect investment. Spoiler, it never comes. The truth, wealth isn't built by playing it safe. It's built by stepping out of your comfort zone, starting that side hustle, investing your first $100, asking for a raise, learning a new skill. That's risk. But no risk, no reward. Playing it safe is the safest way to stay broke. You don't have to be fearless, just willing to move forward despite fear. Because every dollar you don't invest, every opportunity you don't take, is money and time lost forever. If you want to break free, start small, start smart. Don't let your fears keep you broke another day. The power of change, that's 100% in your hand. Break the cycle, build better habits, and watch your life change. Because being broke isn't how much you make, it's about what you do with what you've got. So pick one habit to fix today. Learn, act, and level up. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Your future self will thank you.